Hiya, welcome to my Scientific Application to Coaching 2 presentation. My name's Harry Allen, student number B90108999. So, these are the rules of endball. I want to introduce it. So it's 8 plays maximum. It's played in 4 quarters of 5 minutes. I'd give you a few seconds to take a look at some of the other rules. Okay, so what are the physical demands of endball? So I focused on heart rate, as you can see in the results in the table below here. So for my research, I monitored and recorded participants' heart rate before, during and after playing endball at the University Sport Park. You can see the periods of timings which took place for these results in the table below and the 3 participants which I focused upon. We did this by using specialist watches which monitored the heart rate. You can see these results in the table below, like I've said. And from this research, I found that the average heart rate during endball was 142 beats per minute, and that's rounded to 1 decimal place. So, I then used Cavron's method 1957 to work out the physical demands of endball. This is because by using Cavron's method, it will give us the different training zones, percentages, and what corresponding results in beats per minute is and are. From this, I can then see what training zones my participants' average heart rate during endball was of 42 beats per minute falls into. You can see the working out and methodology of this method below. As you can see from the table that the average heart rate during endball of 142 beats per minute falls into the moderate intensity training zone of around 50% intensity, which is 143 beats per minute. So from my research, I would therefore say that the physical demands for endball are similar to the physical demands of handball, basketball and basketball. The reason for this is you can see that the average heart rate for endball is 142 beats per minute, for handball is 137, and for basketball is 135, which are all similar. This puts all 3 of these sports into the moderate intensity training zones, averaging around 50% intensity. The handball research I used was Pulo 2017, who analysed heart rate in elite male and female beach handball players, and Siderlands 2014, he researched heart rate in males in basketball. So, the key performance indicators. So from watching an endball match, I saw that the type of pass selection by the participants was an area which required performance improvement. This was due to many of the passes being unsuccessful. This is why I chose pass selection / type of pass as my key performance indicator. Specifically, I wanted to analyse the different type of passes passed over different distances and whether certain passes were more successful or less successful over set distances. One piece of literature I read which gave me some inspiration for my notational analysis design for my key performance indicators was a notational system for tennis by Hughes 2004. You can see this in the bottom right hand corner. This was because I felt that this notational system gave an accurate and detailed representation of what type of shot was made by a tennis player and where the ball ended up. So, also, it's an accurate, like I've said, it's accurate and detailed. And I thought I could develop this for endball to show what type of pass was made, where it was made, where the pass ended, and was the pass successful or unsuccessful. So, my methodology. So for my notation analysis, I designed a flowchart which explains the process. You can see this in the bottom left of the screen. Firstly, you note down what type of pass was made. This would either be an overarm pass, underarm, chest pass, or bounce pass. Then what zone the pass was made from. You can see these zones in the green pitch, which is labelled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Then you note down what zone the pass ended up in, and then was the pass successful or unsuccessful. I've then designed a table on Excel to record the results to allow for quick notational analysis to happen. I've then watched the game of Endball and recorded these results. Notational analysis can be a valid and reliable method to track patterns of play. This is the Gramac 2011. So again, for my methodology. So this, you can see in the bottom right, is the completed Edexcel notational sheet showing the results of the key performance indicators. As you can see, I've added an extra element to this sheet, which is pass distance. This is to help give a clearer picture of the distance of pass was thrown over. So you've got a short pass. An example of this would be, seeing a square again, the pitch would be from A to B. A short medium be from A to C. A medium pass would be from A to E, and a long pass would be from A to G. And I'll let you read the definitions in clearer detail for a brief moment. Okay, so the results. So the overall pass results were that over a short distance pass, it was 50% successful with 5 out of 10, and then 5 out of 10 being unsuccessful, so 50% unsuccessful. Short medium distance was 3 out of 5 passes were successful, giving it a 60% success rate and a 40% unsuccessful rate. Medium distance was 1 out of the 3 passes was successful, giving it a 3.3 reoccurring success rate and a 6.6 reoccurring unsuccess rate. And the long pass distance was 0% success rate and 100% unsuccessful, with 1 out of 1. You can see a nice clear table which shows you this result. Next type of pass was the underarm pass result. So, underarm passing, short distance was 60% successful with 3 out of 5 passes being successful, leaving it with a 40% unsuccess rate. Short medium distance with 1 out of 2 being successful gives it a 50% success rate and a 50% unsuccess rate. Again, I'd like you to have a look at the table. And finally, the third pass which was done was the chess pass result. Chess passing short distance was 0% success rate with 1 out of 1 being unsuccessful. Short medium pass distance was 100% success rate with 2 out of 2 being successful, giving it a 0% unsuccess rate, and 100% success rate was very positive. I'd like to say as well, there was no bounce passes recorded during the match I did, therefore I couldn't produce any data on bounce passes. So, summary of the results. So in short, best pass, most accurate pass for short distance was a underarm pass with a 60% success rate. Short medium distance, best pass was a chess pass with a 100% success rate. Medium distance was an overarm pass with 33.3 recurring success rate. And a long distance, I am saying an overarm pass. There is only one long distance pass during the match which was recorded, which was unsuccessful. However, I still argue that an overarm pass is still the most accurate and effective type of pass over a long distance. One, due to it being the only type of pass attempted by the participant over a long distance, and also the body and arm position when throwing an overarm pass allows for greater distance compared to other types of passing like underarm passes. This is due to your joints angle and your body positioning when releasing the ball, which positively impacts the velocity and kinematics of the throw. This is according to Van den Frille 2012. So, for my intervention, I'm going to use the constraint-led approach. This is a framework which helps coaches to understand the performance and learning design, Renshaw 2019. This is when you challenge participants by putting constraint on them, which increases the difficulty of a task. By using this method as coach, the participants will be challenged through the constraints placed upon them. This would cause them to have to adapt their performance to comply with the rules and the constraint, and this is where learning and improvement can occur. This is according to Renshaw 2010. Examples of constraints are changing the pitch size area, changing the equipment ball size, changing the number of participants, and changing the rules of the game. I'm using this approach for my intervention as it allows for game-like situations in which improvement and learning can occur. So, my coaching intervention. From results, it was clear that the participants required improvement at passing over long distances. This is why my coach intervention is designed around improving overarm passing over long distances. You can see a diagram of my drill which explains it to the left here, and my activity. To sum it up, it's quick. Attack versus defense with 5 versus 5. Aim is for the attackers to score points by successfully completing a pass into the end zone, which is the red zone labelled. The scoring pass has to be an overarm throw. You can score 10 points from the pass being made in the 10-point scoring zone, and 5 points from the 5-point zone, and 1 point from the 1-point zone. So, the key task constraint rules are the point system. This is instead of scoring 1 point from everywhere on the pitch like a normal game, now we can score more points from a throw which is thrown from further away in the end zone. Attackers are allowed 6 passes. Any type of pass is allowed apart from the final pass has to be an overarm pass, so a scoring pass. The 6th pass has to be an overarm thrown into the end zone if not already attempted, and the one attacker must stay in the end zone at all times. So by scoring points from passing the ball over a longer distance, it encourages them to pass the ball overarm from longer distances. So if you make a pass from the 10-point zone, you score 10 points. You get more points, therefore you would win by more. This encourages repetition of a task by forcing them to make longer passes. And this practice will help improve their overarm passing over long distances. This is because repetition of a task can significantly improve in the success rate of it. This is according to Nandrup 2019. Other rules of this are that attackers start with 4 players in the start zone and 1 player who always stays in the end zone. Once the attackers leave the start zone, they can't go back into it. This encourages them to play forward and look to score from a long pass. The player in the end zone is allowed to move around the end zone but must not leave it. Defending rules. So normal end ball tackling and interception rules apply for defenders who are defending in the 10-point, 5-point and 1-point scoring zones, and only allowed 1 defender in the end zone whose aim is to intercept any attacking passes. So I will then develop this drill on and move it on. I would progress this activity by adding a key task constraint. I would do this by changing, adapting the number of plays to make it a 4 versus 6 attackers versus defense drill, which you can see labelled in the diagram to the left. This is creating overload on the attackers, which will increase the difficulty of the task by increasing the amount of pressure attackers are under when they are on the ball, in possession of the ball. This will force them to have to make more accurate passes to keep the ball. So keep the ball, and we play in longer passes to keep the possession of the ball or score a point by making a point into the end zone. And again, this increases repetition of them, and it gets them to try and aim to complete a long pass using an overarm throw technique from the 10-point zone, as this will give them a higher chance of scoring, and like I said, repetition of this drill will help improve. These are the references I used throughout my presentation. And thank you for listening. Thank you.